So today we're going to look at how you write an email, which is called Courriel or mail. This is for the 10th and the 12th. For the 12th April 2021 batch, this is going to be asked. For the 10th, however, for the April 2021 batch, it's not going to be asked. However, it may continue in the following year. Okay, so those who are answering this year, you do not have a email writing in the 10th standard. Now, this is the format of how you write an email. Let me tell you in advance that the paragraph, the body of the email that you write is the same way as you write a carte postale. Okay, just the way you write a letter or a carte postale, the same way you write the body of the email. So we're not going to be touching upon that. We're just going to be looking at the difference in the format. Okay, you know an email looks very different from a letter. The first thing is that everything is aligned towards the left. Okay, there is no right alignment when you're doing an email. So let's just quickly scan through this format. You have right on top, you start on the left with de followed by the comma. Then you have a, which is followed by a comma, and you have objet followed by a comma. Okay, these three have to come one below the other. We'll see what they mean in the next slide. Okay, so after you have de, a, and objet on three separate lines, you will leave a line and then you come to your salutation, which is salut. Okay, just a plain salut exclamation mark. You do not have to put anything after that. It's a common salutation. Okay, then you leave a line and you come to the next part, which is your paragraph. You write it in the exact same way as you write a body of the carte postale. Okay, and remember it is only one paragraph. Okay, and a short paragraph, not a long one. So once you're done with that, you leave a line. You will say a bientôt. Okay, remember in your carte postale you generally say amitié or amicalement. Okay, here you say a bientôt with an exclamation mark. Please make sure your accents are correct there. Then you leave a line and you give your first name. Okay, the format for an email is comparatively simpler to that of a carte postale because there are less things that you have to write and everything is aligned on the left side. Okay, now let's look at the particulars about the format. You will always start your email on a new page because you do not want the initial part to be on the last few lines of one page and then you have to start writing the body on the next page. That doesn't look good. Please make sure you're starting your email itself on a new page so that your entire email should not take more than around say 12-13 lines. Make sure it all fits on the same page. Okay, now we saw the format. You see that you have to write the words do, and objet on three separate lines, one after the other, followed by a colon. Now what do you have to write after do? After do, you have to write the email ID of the sender. Please remember that you are writing an email, so your do and a have to be followed by email IDs and not names. Okay, we want the email IDs. Now what happens sometimes in the question paper, you are only given the name of the person writing the letter and the name of the person receiving the letter. So what do you do in that case? You do not simply write their names against do and are. You will have to make up an email. And how do you make up an email? You can put the name with some numbers or with some letters or with a surname at gmail.com. Okay, that is how you make up a fictitious email ID. Okay, and obviously you will not write your own email ID there because it has to correspond with the name given to you. Okay, so when you're done framing the email IDs, then you will write the sender's email ID against R, you will write the email ID of the receiver. When you're writing to your father, your brother, okay, generally when you're writing your carte postale, you'll say cher papa. Okay, if you write to your grandfather, you'll say cher grandpa. Okay, but when you're writing your email, make sure that you're writing it. The email ID of your father will also be a name, right? You will not say papa@gmail.com. You will give your father a name. Okay, so make sure that is being taken care of. Then if we are done with the z and the r, okay, which is the email ID of the sender and receiver respectively. Then your third thing is objet. Please make sure you write it is not sujet, not subject, not object. It is objet, which means the subject of your email. What are you writing about? Okay. After objet, you have to write the subject of your email. Pick it out from the question itself. Okay. Then we saw on the previous slide, you will not write a name after salut. Your salutation is constant for whomever you're writing to. After you write your paragraph, you come to the subscription, which is abionto, again common for everyone. Then you leave a line and you write your first name only. Sometimes you may be given a surname in the question, which is only to confuse you. Now, don't get confused. In the carte postale, you generally have to write your relationship. For example, votre fils. If you're writing to your father, you will say you are their son. If you're writing to your cousin, you will say ton cousin, right? We do not do that in the email. You just have to write your name straight away, your first name. Okay. Now, you follow the same points that I've given you for the carte postale when you're talking about the body of the email as well. This is a sample email for you. Look at the question. Vous êtes Rajendra or Rani. Vous allez organiser une soirée chez vous la semaine prochaine. Rédigez un courriel à votre ami Suel pour l'inviter à la soirée. Okay, one thing I forgot to mention is that the courriel is generally asked as an option with the carte postale. So you write either the courriel or the carte postale, both the 10s and the 12s. Okay, so this is how you will write this courriel, the question of which is given above on top of the slide. Okay, so you are Rajendra or Rani. So I've taken the male name there. So the will be Rajendra. You can make any fictitious email ID there. rajendragupta@gmail.com. Whom are you writing to? You're writing to your friend Suhail. Okay, so Suhail165@gmail.com. What is the objet? Why are you writing the mail? You're organizing a dinner at your place, okay, a dinner party at your place next week. So you are inviting your friend Sohail for that. Okay, so your objet can be l'invitation à une soirée chez moi. Okay, then you leave a line, you come to your salut, and then you leave a line and you start writing your body as minimal as possible. We don't want more than 5-6 lines is more than enough, as long as you encompass all the details that are required about your soirée or whatever topic you're given for that matter. So, comment ça va? J'espère que tout va bien chez toi. Okay, you're writing to your friend, so your entire email goes as in the tu form. Okay, j'ai écrit ce courriel pour t'inviter à une soirée chez moi que mes parents organisent le 7 avril. À l'occasion de mon 18e anniversaire, tu peux venir avec ta famille vers 20h. Je vais inviter nos amis prochains et Vivek aussi. J'espère que tu seras là. Écris-moi quand tu as le temps, mais regarde tout. So can you see how crisply and succinctly everything has been put into around 5-6 lines? Okay, when is the party? At what time? Where is it? Who's organizing it? Who else is coming? Okay, you've said that you can come with your family as well. Okay, all these details have to be given in a very crisp manner with correct grammar. Okay, so when you're done with this, you leave a line. Make sure it's just one paragraph. Leave a line. You will give your subscription as abionto. Leave a line. Remember here you're not writing any relationship, and then you will give your first name at the end. You have written yourself as Rajendra at the start. You will write your name as Rajendra at the end. If you're writing as Rani, you will keep Rani at the start and Rani at the end. Okay, this is how you go about an email. I hope you've understood. Thank you and all the best to you.